Welcome into Dragon Ball Super Dope. My name is Kyle. Thank you for checking this out. It's going to be a fairly straightforward episode today, and I think you guys know what we're going to be talking about. That's right, the return of the manga has been announced for December 20th, 2022. Woo! We're going to talk about that. I got a couple of Dragon Ball dates, and then, like anniversaries, I guess is the better way to say that, the less confusing way to say that. And a couple thoughts on some other stuff that I've watched recently and have enjoyed. It's not all negativity on this show, don't you know? Anyway, big news. Dragon Ball manga is returning December 20th, and not only that, where it's going to feature, it looks like primarily a grown-up Goten and Trunks. Not grown-up, but aged up to the age that they are in the superhero movie. And this chapter will work as a prelude to that movie, a prequel of sorts. Seems people were a little confused about the timing of this chapter, but it says that it's going to precede the events of Dragon Ball Superhero. Cool. Can't wait. I'm happy it's going to be focused on something else. That'll be fun to watch Goten and Trunks. However, I will say, I can't imagine it being a chapter, or even if it's multiple chapters, even if it's a small arc over the course of 2 or 3 months. It'll be fun to break it up. I just see some other characters. I just don't think that we will have anything of like note of real significance happen. Like when they show up in Superhero, they're very much an afterthought. They barely know how to do the fusion dance anymore. Like, I don't know. All of that could change in these coming chapters. They could totally throw all of that, strict events of Superhero out the window with the understanding that they intend to readapt it somewhere. Probably not in the manga. I hope not in the manga. At best for the manga, just let Superhero kind of do what they did with Broly. And it's like the events of this happen. And there's a full page, I think, panel of one of the shots of crazy Berserker Broly trying to fight Goku and Vegeta at the same time. That's all you need. That said, they bring back the anime. I would absolutely love it if they fleshed out the events of Superhero a little bit more. And we get to spend more time with people like the Gammas. Maybe Cell becomes, he's still a big monstrous giant thing at the end, sure, but I don't know. I guess you can't really do Cell more justice. Like, what are you going to do? Give him like a full character arc? Maybe not to that extent. My point is they could, much like the anime retellings of Battle of Gods and Fakatsu no F, they do some fun things in there that are different from the movie. Nothing drastically different, but they're fun, and I enjoy them. Giving that same treatment for Superhero. But Goten and Trunks being the main focus, I think, is something to be excited about. I think a lot of people saw this and thought, oh, that means Superhero's canon to the manga now. And like, I don't want to talk about all that stuff again. I really don't. So I won't. I did an episode about it, I want to say in June or July, and I'll link it in the show notes. But is Dragon Ball Super Superhero, stupidest fucking title, is it canon? Yes. Is it canon now because the manga's acknowledging it? No, not because of that. It's always been canon. Again, canon's such a tricky term, especially in this fandom, especially with stuff associated with anime and manga and the East. Canon's not as big a deal to them, but the understanding with Superhero was always that eventually the events that we're seeing in the manga are gonna lead up to, maybe not lead up to is the right phrase, because they're very like insular stories. It seems like Granola in no way affects Dragon Ball Superhero. However, how do these two things kind of link together now, like the manga and the movie? I thought it was very self-explanatory. I did have to, kind of get real simple with my explanation to a friend of the show, Black Bulma, the other day. It's funny because I thought we talked about it on that episode she did with me, but maybe not. It's been a while since I talked with her. Hopefully we'll get her back on the show again. But her whole thing was like, but in the movie, Vegeta doesn't have Ultra Ego or his earring, and they don't do any of the new transformations. And I'm like, dude, please don't make me explain to you again how like production schedules for a movie start way in advance. Character models scripting starts way before some of these manga chapters that are made month to month, like very much by the seat, like flying by the seat of their pants kind of stuff. you can't anticipate that the movie production staff knows all the ins and outs of what's going to happen in the manga over the next 6 to 12 months. It's just impossible. But it was written with the understanding that the events in the manga come before what we see in the movie. So the one line to connect all of it, it's so easy. They bring Broly to Beerus's planet, and they say something to the effect of, yeah, we're here because we're hiding Broly from Frieza. Frieza shows up at the end of the Granola arc in his black Frieza form, whoops everyone's ass. Boom. That's the connection you need. Do a couple years where the boys are like, I don't know, maybe not hiding from Frieza, but knowing that Frieza's out there and he could come back at any time to try to extract revenge. So they just keep trying to get stronger. And in the meantime, they're like, ah, shit, we better go get Broly on our side and train him up. He could be an asset to fight Frieza in the future. All that is. That's how they connect. This whole, like, the manga's one continuity, the movie's another continuity. They live in their own separate timelines or whatever. It's like, bro, you're overthinking it immensely. It's really not that serious. It's just that you can't account for things in the movie that haven't even been put into the manga yet when the movie needs to be started a year before, the most recent manga chapters have been written. So don't let the earring trip you up, Black Bulma. Don't let Ultra Ego trip you up. I mean, hell, they even write the excuse into the script. We've talked about it. Hey, let's not use our transformations because we could blow this bitch up. Simple, effective. They stay in base form the entire time. We don't need to see them transform to Ultra Ego or whatever. Mastered Ultra Instinct. Perfect. Perfecto. Correcto. What kind of story could Goten and Trunks be doing? I don't know. I would like to see some like I said, I don't think it'll be anything consequential. Some fun slice of life stuff. I would like to see them kind of like what's implied at the end of Z. Like, and again in GT as well. Goten and Trunks kind of drift apart when they're like no longer fighting to save the world from all these demons and shit, Majin Boos and the likes. They kind of drift apart, and the end of Z, it feels like at least that it's the first time they've seen each other in a while. And there's another moment in GT where I think Trunks shows up to save Goten in the middle of a battle. I forget exactly when. I haven't watched all of GT in a minute, but they just, whenever they reconnect when they're older, it feels like they're not best friends anymore. They've drifted apart a little bit. It would be fun if they take the time skip opportunity. Like Granola ends and they all go back to Earth, and then whatever, 2-3 years pass, whatever it is for the superhero time frame. And like Goten and Trunks kind of stop hanging out. They go do their monster shit on the island while 17 was there. That's like their big last bonding experience. And they stop hanging out. And like for whatever reason, a couple years pass and they have to get back together and start hanging out again for a reason. And them getting to re-know each other or know each other again while they're like entering puberty. Never mind the fact that they're entering puberty with these fucking superpowers. Like you could do some really fun stuff with that kind of setup. I look forward to see what it's going to be. I don't imagine we'll see a perfected grown-up Gotenks or teen Gotenks. I bet. I could be wrong. They could change it. Like, again, the things in Superhero, the movie, are not written in stone by any stretch of the imagination. It is implied in that movie they have not done fusion dance in a long time. That's why they fuck it up. That's why Trunks has to be reminded of it. Not sure if you saw the official art that Toyotaro put out, but it's Goten and Trunks dressed up in like superhero attire with like some capes and stuff. So, new pitch. Goku and Vegeta have to leave the planet because they know Frieza's gonna come extract revenge at a certain point. They go pick up Broly. They go hang out on Beerus' planet. In the meantime, Goten and Trunks are like, our dads aren't here. I guess we got to unite to protect the world. How does people protect the world? I don't know. Maybe they get a great Saiyaman costume and boom, they start wearing capes and shit and, fighting crime. Anyway, this was editor Kyle, but I mean, I'll be back. I'm sure. So excited. That'll be chapter 88, December 20th. Jump Festa is at or around the same time. And I know it's a thing on this show. I was thinking about it the other day, man. We're coming up on like 300 official, whatever that means, episodes. And, we did about the last 30 episodes of Dragon Ball Super. So this show has now been around like what's that, 10 times longer than when we were covering the show. It's very tough to do shit without new material like the manga. Shit that I, give a shit about. Anyway, my point in all that is I'm very excited to have it back. Every year, though, I always, I'm like, this is the year, baby. We're getting the anime back. And then it is not the year where we get the anime back. So I don't want to say maybe we'll get an announcement at Jump Festa this year. Last year, the big announcement at Jump Festa was Toyotaro showed up and showed us what it would look like if Granola and the Hida gang were colorized, or what they would look like in colorized manga. Like, oh, cool. Oh, you know what? It might have been actually Ultra Ego Vegeta's colors. I think that's what it was. He showed off the purple hair or whatever. People were like, oh, sugoi. Which, yeah, cool. I'm glad we got to see it, but bring back the goddamn anime, man. You know what you're sitting on. You know what you're doing to the people at this point. Episode 131, you're like, we'll see you all again very soon. People have died since then, man. A lot of people have died since then. Bring back the show. All right, so yeah, I'm not getting my hopes up for Jump Festa. However, there are rumors of that web exclusive anime that'll be supposedly coming out in 2023. Again, that was something that Chronicles and DBS Hype put out there a couple of months back, and that was literally the only thing that's been talked about. That's it. The only place it was heard from. I'm not saying it was a lie. I'm just saying it's strange that we still haven't heard anything, and they heard something way back then and felt like, they could put it out at that point in time. But we'll see. Hopefully we'll get some kind of substantive announcement where we get some new anime, because readings for fucking nerds. Okay, so I'm recording this on Saturday morning, the 19th of November. I've been in very heavy procrastination mode the last couple weeks. It's not good for business. It's not good for podcasts. And Super Dope, unfortunately, is the thing that suffers. It falls by the wayside in terms of like priority or recording or whatever. But I almost sat down to record this last night, and I was like, I'll just do it tomorrow. But then I realized today is the anniversary of the end of Dragon Ball GT. I'm pretty sure I've recorded on this date in the past. I feel like I've talked about it before, but yeah, November 19th, 1997, episode 64 of Dragon Ball GT aired, and I don't remember the name of the episode off the top of my head, but it is something to the effect of like, Farewell Son Goku. And it makes me sad when I think about it, and then Pan finds his clothes, and everyone's like, oh, he's going off with the dragon. And then she finds his shirt. And Vegeta's the only one who knows. He's like, hey, man, hang on to those. And I was like, ooh, that means he's dead. Anyway, it's the anniversary of that. GT, I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of memes go around the last week about something one of the animators might have said about like, GT was always intended to be the original sequel, or like the sequel story to Dragon Ball Z. So in a way that means that GT is like now canon or whatever. I hate that we have to talk about the canon, non-canon stuff. I do. It's so dumb to me. I feel like it's pretty cut and dry, but I guess it's not. I don't know. I guess it really isn't. Like, that's not even me being sarcastic. Like, I've always felt throughout my life that it was pretty cut and dry, but since Dragon Ball came back 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago, I guess it's just a much more confusing set of circumstances for people. So, I don't know. I like it all, man. Mostly. The officially released stuff. None of that fanfic nonsense. So yeah, that's the anniversary of GT ending. So what the hell does that make it? 90... Did I say 96 before? I might have meant 97. I'm not looking at a specific date over here. I believe, 96 to 97. That makes sense, right? Sure. Anyway, today, November the 20th, Sunday, November the 20th. If I said anything about the 18th previous to this, no, I didn't. Okay? This isn't Editor Kyle. This is real Kyle. Editor Kyle will be back in a minute, though, because I got to talk to you. Oh, damn it. It was the anniversary of the first Dragon Ball chapter ever being published in Shonen Jump back in 1984. I thought that was pretty cool. Like, that's Dragon Ball's original birthday, basically. Actually, a friend of the show, SS Goshen 4, She just did an appearance on my friend Flynn's podcast. I Know You Hear Me with Flynn Hendrix. I haven't gotten to listen to the interview yet. I want to. I want to get her back on Super Dope soon as well. But she just did this really cool TikTok, Instagram story talking about how an original copy of that Shonen Jump from 1984 actually sold at an auction house very recently in Tokyo. And it turns out it was a counterfeit. And she does a really good deep dive for a TikTok, Instagram, or whatever. But she explains the whole circumstance as to like how they figured out that it was a fake and all that. Very cool. So go check it out. SS Goshen 4. You know how to find her. She's all over the goddamn place in the Dragon Ball sphere. So those are my Dragon Ball dates. Those are my anniversaries. Chapter 88 is sick. I'll tell you what, man. I'm keeping this shit pretty streamlined today, mainly because I have to run to Jimmy's son's second birthday party in just a little bit. But I wanted to get this done because I'm not sure I'll have time to do it later. Editor Kyle's back. Not that he was ever here before. Sunday morning now, and it's been a weird Sunday morning. This week in general has been a tough one for 80s and 90s babies like us, most of us. For a couple of reasons. The first that I didn't touch upon in this episode because I was so in a rush to get the shit done yesterday. Kevin Conroy, the Batman of our generation, us 90s kids growing up with that animated series. I got to meet him a couple of times at conventions over the years. He was genuinely always the sweetest, nicest guy, even dealing with a fucking buzzed up dumbass like me. He was always just so humble. And the motherfucker was Batman. So he passed away after, I think it was a short battle with cancer. Awful. 66 years old, not exactly young, but not really that old either, so sad. The other one that's been fucking with me all morning and has me, I don't know, just like my day's been delayed because I can't get back into the rhythm that I was in until I saw this. Jason David Frank, the Green and White Ranger Tommy Oliver from Power Rangers. I mean, it's all but confirmed at this point by like major media outlets. So I guess there's a very small chance this could be proven to be fake. And I would love for that to be the case. But Editor Kyle dropping in on Editor Kyle's monologue. It's now been confirmed by TMZ. Rest in peace, JDF. I've been watching shit all morning on like Twitter and Facebook and stuff. And people within his circles, the conventions that he was a regular staple at, they've confirmed it at pretty much. So he's passed away at age 49. And I just hate talking about this, like in general, but I just most reports indicate that it was suicide, potentially by hanging. And I don't know, I was a huge Power Rangers kid until I found Dragon Ball, really. And, first couple years that I watched it, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, that's like all primetime, original, Mighty Morphin stuff. So when I think of Power Rangers, I think of that cast. I think of those people. I think of those Rangers. There's been a million of them since, but JDF was that guy who still stayed involved in the franchise. And I don't want to say he like made it his identity, but it certainly was a huge part of who he was. And the Power Rangers franchise, a big part of their success was him as an anchor through at least those early seasons, and then him doing cool cameos throughout the rest of the series. I don't know, man. He was the coolest motherfucker when I was a kid. And I grew up a Jason fan, so like when the Red Ranger got knocked aside to not be the leader anymore for Tommy, I was kind of like butthurt about it. But also he won me over. Like Tommy was the coolest dude. And it just sucks to like you can be Tommy fucking Oliver. You can be Tommy fucking Oliver, and your brain, you still can't beat your own brain. You can't overcome the stuff going on up there. And that's the solution for you, you know? Tommy fucking Oliver. Ugh. Check on your friends, I guess, but be kind to people. You never know what's going on upstairs for them, you know? Anyway, those are two sad things that editor Kyle wanted to bring to your attention on this Sunday before this episode goes out. I guess kind of wrapping up this little interlude on a semi-positive note. I didn't realize it. Later on, you'll hear me yelling about this person some more, but I figured because I'm here and I need to end this on a somewhat upbeat-ish, hopefully, note after that depressing shit. Happy birthday, super fan of the show, my friend Victor O. Roman. I believe it's his 31st birthday today, this Sunday. And he's been a supporter of the show for a few years now, and he's become a friend, and everyone in the community, who, routinely interacts with us and talks with us, they all love him. Kid brings nothing but good energy to the super dope world and just the world in general, So happy birthday. Wish a happy birthday to my friend Victor, okay? And I'm like fucked up about this JDF thing, dude. But enjoy the rest of the episode. I hear there's a fun song coming up. It's really fun. I had to do this now here because if I tried to fuck around with the timing of the song and the excellent lyrics I obviously gave y'all, it would have ruined my artistry. And I'm not into that. Unless it's ruining somebody else's artistry. I don't care about that. They just can't ruin my own. Or I can't ruin my own. I don't care. All right, I'm done. That's not it. That's not the right one. I had to figure out how this goes. But I have to edit like 3 more podcasts today, do a couple other things, and the news of this morning is like really fucking with my brain now. What's the right eye catch to take me out of this thing? Ready? See? I get things right sometimes. So that's most of the Dragon Ball stuff today. I did want to say My Hero Academia season 6, man. Like, if I could change one thing about my podcasting decisions over the last few years, it would have been that I launched the Advice podcast last year while season 5 of My Hero Academia was going on. And I would have just done like a special extra podcast feed this year for season 6. Because season 6 of My Hero Academia is so motherfucking good so far. Oh my, and I can't see how it comes down. Like it's only going to escalate from here. I don't want to give any spoilers out in case you're not caught up, so I won't do that. But somebody in the Discord the other day, I think it was me and Marcus Mears Woods, we were going back and forth and saying that it feels like Avengers Endgame level storytelling. And if you're somebody who's watched every season of My Hero Academia and you've spent these moments with these characters in their own smaller arcs, to see how those arcs still factor into this thing that's happening to them on screen now. Granted, it's like a year later in terms of the actual time from when they probably happened, but oh my God, there's like no wasted time in this show. And even if you thought it was wasted time before, it's no longer wasted time because of how they paid it off now in these final battles of season 6. Not even final battles, man. We're still in like the first third of season 6. So fucking amped, man. It's getting so good. So goddamn good. If you're not watching My Hero Academia, you should be. Okay? Okay. What else? Did you go see Wakanda Forever? I did. Me and my buddy already went a few, like last week, right? That's when it came out. And I'm not going to do any spoilers for that either. But I do want to say something about the movie. First of all, it's a great movie. I had fun with it. I really enjoyed the first Black Panther as well. Going into this movie, man, I did not see how they could do something better than Black Panther 1. Just because we all understand that Chadwick Boseman has passed on, But somehow Ryan Coogler and that cast and, that production, they somehow managed to make a more powerful movie in his absence. But, you know, his absence is the reason the movie feels powerful. That movie is so much just about paying tribute to him in such a beautiful, profound way in most cases. And it's about grief. That movie is about grief, man. Grief and empathy. And it's just a beautiful film. It's so much fun. Riri Williams, I can't wait to see her in her TV show. A lot of people felt like she fell out of place in this movie as Ironheart, or the soon-to-be Ironheart. I don't think they call her that in this movie, but dude, she's so much fun. I do understand why people think that she felt a little underutilized. Okoye also felt a little underutilized as well. But whatever, it wasn't their movie. This was very much Shuri's movie. And yeah, if you haven't seen Wakanda Forever, please go do that because you will probably enjoy it. Unless you're like one of those guys who hates the MCU now because it's cool. In which case, I guess I get it. But also, chill, man. Just like have fun. Not everything's got to be so serious. Why are you hating to hate, Kyle? Why don't you like the thing that I like, Kyle? I'll tell you why, because the thing you like wasn't that good, all right? Sorry I told you to kill yourself or whatever I said, but I really turned some people off with that that Dragon Ball thing a couple weeks ago. Dragon Ball fan, whatever. But you know what? I'm fine with it. I'll tell you why I'm fine with it. I don't really care about that thing or the guy who made it or any of it. All I care about is making sure that you're entertained. And me getting passionate on a microphone about a thing that I'd be pretty fucking lame about otherwise, that was the best I had in the moment. Let me be mad. Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes it's funny. If you didn't like it though, whatever, fuck you. You know who I care about, dogs? Patrons. You know what that means? You're goddamn right you do. He's the greatest fucking song in the world, okay? I want to say thank you to my patrons. Roberto. Dallas. Tyson. Welcome back to the Patreon, Tyson. He had one of those situations wherein a card like expired or whatever and he forgot to re-up because, you know, maybe he's not consuming all the uncut content that he could. A lot of C's in that sentence. However, you just like to support the show, dogs. You should too. Also, thank you to Marcus Woods and my friend Reese in Australia. Dan Lil Baby, Buckin' Jiren, David Shears, he's on Instagram, and he sends me some real good reels. Also, he's a patron to dudes. All right, I'll stop singing. That's annoying. I'm annoying myself. Thanks to Victor. Oh, Roman. Actually, me and Victor went to Comic-Con together a couple weeks ago. And we had a fucking blast, man. Thank you to Victor for having me along with him. He had the good VIP passes for the weekend. But in reality, all we did was like walk around, drink beers, talk some shit. It was cool. We saw Monica Rial. She was very nice to us. You know, real nice to us. What else? Pretty much it. Actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I had somebody, Victor, like wanted me to do survey questions on the street, and I was not feeling it. But I think we did do survey questions. Now I gotta check. I gotta go to a kid's birthday party. Fuck. All right, let's see how this goes. I guess I'll just let the song play, huh? I'm checking through my shit right now. Voice memos, maybe. Oh shit, I found it. Here we go, my dudes. Hello, my name is Kyle. Welcome to Dragon Ball Super Dope. How you doing? I forget how I started the show. Anyway, who am I here with?
Josh. Name's Josh.
Jesus Christ, I hope that's audible. Anyway, in case you didn't hear, it's Josh. Josh, how are you, dude?
Doing all right, thanks.
What a fucking cool voice. Hey, Josh, you made a comment about Victor. Oh, Roman, super fan of the show's cool Dragon Ball shirt. Yeah, Dragon Ball shirt. So we've stopped and talked with you on the street. Now, let me ask you something. Yo, is that Mark fucking Britton, dude? That's Mark Britton. Sorry. I just got to stop for myself real quick. Yes, it was Mark Britton. Yes, it is the voice actor from Dragon Ball. Yes, I talked to him. Yes, he may come on the show. But apparently, me and Mark Britton have a friend in common. And our friend in common, he's not such a big fan of these days. So I totally shot myself in the foot trying to talk to Mark Britton right after this. Anyway, let's get back to Ed. Is his name Ed? Fuck, dude, he's got a cool voice, right? What's your favorite Dragon Ball character?
Probably Piccolo.
Good call. You sound like Piccolo. Who's your least favorite?
Can't think of a.
Dude, what happened to your cool voice?
I switched back to my normal voice.
Still a cool voice regardless.
Thank you. My least favorite Dragon Ball character would probably have to be.
Probably Goten.
Yeah, all right, Goten. Favorite arc? What's your favorite arc throughout all of Dragon Ball?
Namek arc of Dragon Ball Z.
Good call, dude. Do we have any more questions, Victor?
Probably not. I mean, that was good. I had to stop him. He fucking sounded legit.
We appreciate you, man. What was your name again?
The name's Josh.
Josh
Nice
with
to meet you.
the cool ass voice. Subido. Josh, not Ed. I don't know why I thought his name was Ed. I was only half listening. That Mark Britton thing, though, that fucked me up. Anyway, Josh, thanks for, I guess, letting us talk to you on the street. That's the only one I did this year. I did not apply for credentials for Rhode Island Comic Con this year, so I didn't have my microphones and shit like that. That was just off my iPhone. So hopefully it sounded okay and it didn't drive any of you off. I'm sure all my incessant rambling might already do occasionally. So yeah, thanks to Josh. That was cool. Thanks to Victor. Also fun. We had a great time, dude. What else? I think that's it, dude. I got to go to this kid's birthday party. They specifically said no gifts, which I was like, really? For a 2-year-old? Why don't you get a 2-year-old gifts? Probably because he's already got too much shit at home, I imagine. All right, that's fine. But also, it's my best friend, 20 years kid. So I'm like, let's get him something cool, man. Let's get him some Dragon Ball shit. Or you like Spider-Man a lot. Let's get him some Spider-Man shit, No, just cake, they said. Anyway, I gotta go do that. Hey, if you're looking for some shit to listen to besides Super Dope, the Advice Pod, it's been fun. It's been very fun. We're gonna continue to do it. So go listen to it right now. There's probably a dozen or so episodes over there. So if you haven't been checking it out, go catch up. We have a Thanksgiving episode planned for next week, actually. We've yet to record it. We're recording it on Monday night. And there may or may not be a special guest. I won't reveal who that may or may not be in case it doesn't work out for scheduling reasons. But somebody who's been on this show once before, very recently. So there's your hint. Go check out the Advice Pod. Make sure you rate and subscribe to Dragon Ball Super Dope as well. 5-star ratings help the world of podcasting go around the world. So go do that. Thanks. Not feeling very musical today, I guess. Been singing my fucking heart out lately. Jesus, I've played so many gigs lately. I think I might start I think I said this before, so I apologize if it's something that I keep saying and that I've yet to execute on, but maybe if I keep saying it out in public, I think I just have to do a Patreon exclusive podcast where I just talk about my actual bullshit life. Not bullshit my life is bullshit, but bullshit within my life that I do that does not relate to this stuff. Because sometimes I have stuff happen that I just want to talk about. I had a big quote unquote benefit concert last weekend. That was an interesting set of circumstances that also has an interesting story attached to it. I need to talk about that with somebody. Who am I going to talk to? My friends? I ain't got none. I defeated a Karen the other day with the power of my voice alone. I have interesting tales from the day to day, Sometimes anyway. Not tales that anybody in a mass audience would care about. Maybe you as a Dragon Ball person might like me enough to want to hear about me shouting down a Karen accidentally. Because it very much was an accident. It was an involuntary response for me. But man, did that bitch shut the fuck up. Anyway, that's it. Thank you for listening. I know it was short. I keep rambling to make it a little bit longer. I'm like, oh man, if they see an 18-minute episode, they're going to be like, oh no, not an 18-minute episode. It's not it. It's 12:30 on a Saturday morning. I've had 15 cups of coffee and I'm ready to go eat some fucking birthday cake. Subido! This is Dragon Ball Super Dope, eating up birthday cakes every time. There you go.